Good morning, gardening friends. It is Thursday, July 9th, and I'm back for another update. I'm starting on the porch today. I haven't done the porch in a while. So I did add the lavender, which is looking amazing. I did leave it sideways, and it is doing lots of flowers, which is so nice. Over here, this is not loving how much sun we had, but it's still doing well. The lobelia has actually spread over to here and over here, so I thought that was kind of funny. These ones are kind of dying back a little bit. This has died back. I've tried to shake the seeds in there and see if that does anything. Down here we've got the coleus looking pretty good. Little random weed back here as I'm talking to you. I am going to pinch the top here because I don't want this to go to flower. I want it to put more effort into the leaves. It's really funny how different these two have grown since they were both a leaf at the same time. And this is one of my son's bell peppers that he grew. So in a past video I was talking about how he had put a bunch into this little pot and I split them. So I left one here and I put a bunch over here in the kids' garden, which I don't know if we can see them. Let's see. They are right in there in the middle part. And the kids' garden, that is all volunteer tomatoes. That is crazy. So I actually have to come through and stake things up because the pathway is missing. I just noticed it yesterday. It was this bad. Also, I did add a trellis in here because, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. The kids got watermelons. Well, we got a watermelon with seeds in it. And the kids spit seeds in there because they're like, oh, we want to grow a watermelon. And it looks like one of the seeds actually took, and we have a watermelon growing there. So they're really excited about that. They don't really care about anything else in this garden. Well, my daughter loves the tomatoes, but my son is so excited that there's a watermelon growing. And then this looks to be an acorn squash here, which he's fussed at, going, it's so big, it's taking over things. I'm like, well, you'll get squash from it. He was not so thrilled about that, but that is what it is. Down here, the lemon balm has kind of gone crazy. And my husband's like, are you going to leave it there? And I thin it out once in a while. It is what it is. Let's take a walk over to see the garden now. Alright, we're over at the garden. We've still got clematis growing here on both sides. Yep. We did lose a big patch of oregano over here from putting the fence in, but there is plenty more, so I'm really not concerned about it at all. Let's start in the middle today. So we've got the oregano growing here. Down here are still a few straggler violas somewhere. Like, I can still see that, but we've had the voles in here chewing them up bad, so that's been an issue. I still have a little clematis in this pot here. It doesn't really do much. I probably should move it to a sunnier spot at some point. It looks like it actually has roots in the ground at this point. We've got the chives doing well. Random weed in with the chives. Throw it in my bucket over there. And over here, the strawberries. So I actually have bird netting on this to keep the birds out. And I do have a couple strawberries over here growing, if you can see down there. But I grew some strawberries and something ate them. Actually, I'm looking now, and this plant down here, let me see if I can get the camera to focus. It's like not focusing. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus because of the netting. Can I focus if I do this? There we go. That has no leaves on it at all. That is completely chewed up. So even though there is netting all over this, all the way around, something's still getting in there and chewing up, probably the voles. So the voles have been absolutely terrible this year. We have the traps, and my husband just told me 2 days ago that we are at over 40 in these traps and the snap traps in our shed this year. I've never seen them this bad. And they are chewing things up too. So the best way to see their damage is right here. You can see right here's all trampled. and they ate the viola there, and you can see they've been getting up here and chewing up. They've also been chewing up the violas that I have growing over there, which we'll get to in a minute. So they've been really destructive this year. And even with putting in the fencing, they actually have pushed up the fencing in a couple spots on this side, and we're going under it. This, dang, plane's really loud, sorry. This planter I actually just had to pick up and move because they had a trail. There's a hole here on this side, and they had a trail under this, went this way, and then went out where that rock is. So I pulled the planter up, well, pulled it aside, saw that they had a trail under there. I closed up the hole here. I put dirt over top of that hole with a rock so that I can see if they move it or anything. And hopefully that will help. Also, I have a trap on this side as well as a trap on that side because they have runways. I've never seen vole runways before this year. A good way to describe it is right here. You see this right here is a vole runway. And at first I thought it was my door, but you can see the door doesn't even come there. And then if I follow it over here, you can see right here is a trail. And I put that in their trail, and the trail was there. The trail is right here. And you can even see it goes this way. So I saw the trail once I weed whacked this. So I came through, I weed whacked, and then I could see their trails. And then I've been really trying to put traps where I'm seeing their trails because they're extra destructive this year. I don't know why. I don't remember if I've talked about this. So this is a sweet potato vine here that I had out front, and it was just like in the pot, and I was ignoring it. Excuse me. And I was like, well, I guess I'll have to put in a planter somewhere because it was starting to die in its little pots. And these planters didn't have anything in them. So I'm like, oh, I'll just throw them in here. And they've gotten huge. They're like so happy out here. And this is one of those spiky things that I can't think. Celosia, I think it is. So that had the pretty pink spires on it that it died, and I thought it was very dead. But it has bounced back, so I am happy to see that it has bounced back. In here, the beans. So we've got the bush beans here. And the bush beans are looking really good. Actually, if I look over here. What is this? This is not a bush bean. This is a pole bean. So I've been having issues with my bush bean seeds that I've been buying from Burpee not being bush beans. I had this problem last year too. This is definitely not a bush bean, and over here this is definitely not a bush bean that's climbing up in there. So I am frustrated to see that because I bought bush beans. I don't want pole beans here, and I might just pull those out. I'm debating between pulling those out and just letting that one climb up there because it's already in there. I am going to ponder that because I'm really annoyed at that because I didn't realize that they were doing that. But in here, these all look to be bush beans. They're not doing those. And I did do my second batch. So I had said when I planted this that I was going to do 2 weeks apart so that I had staggering for my beans. So these ones look pretty good. I do have a few holes where nothing's come up yet. The holes over here I did actually come through and plant in the same time I planted these. So like if you look over here, I have some little shorter ones in here because I did replant to have them not holes all in them. Oh, so my mystery tomato here, this one is solved. This is a cherry tomato. It is not my purple cherry. It's just a regular red cherry tomato. I did harvest 2 tomatoes off of it last night. So I'm happy I have a cherry tomato, but I'm disappointed that it's not purple because I really like the purple ones. They're really sweet. So I don't know yet what this one is, and it hasn't been determined yet what kind these are. They look like cherry tomatoes. At least this one, I can see the cherries on it. I haven't seen tomatoes on this one yet. And I don't think I've seen tomatoes on the middle one yet, but I definitely, as I'm like talking to you, I can see that there's tomatoes right there on this one, which are the cherry tomatoes. In this bed here, I had a basil that I bought in the house that for some reason I confused. I needed, sorry, oh, my dog just startled me. I needed spinach for recipe, and for some reason my brain computed buy basil. I really have no idea why, but then it was sitting on my counter and I'm like, well, I gotta put it somewhere because it's gonna die on my counter. So now that's out here. That's why that one's a lot bigger than the ones I planted by seed. So I did plant a lot by seed and I'm not seeing a lot. So I planted like a row of them here. I've only got one there. There was supposed to be one where that is, which is why I stuck that there. I did plant basil in here, and I only see one little plant right there. So I don't know if the basil seeds just are really bad germination this year, but I don't usually have such an issue growing basil. But if I look over here, I actually have the basil there and there that have grown. Oh, and look, we've got blushing tomatoes. These are the Mariana tomatoes. And this one's like really blushed over here. I might have to go pick it. I'll have to take a look when I get over there. But yeah, first sign of blushing tomatoes in the big tomatoes. That's very exciting. This down here is now a weed. These are my marigolds that were planted. And these are a weed that I let live because my kids actually enjoy eating them. It's mountain sorrel. I might have the name of that wrong because I've heard it's called something else, but I was always told mountain sorrel. And it has a lemony flavor, so my kids eat it, so that's why I let that grow in there, because it's a snack, which is kind of funny. So over here, I figured out what was going on with my sunflowers. Something bit the base of these, and it split. So now I have a double sunflower because something bit the base. And then same issue here, something bit the base of that one, and I have a double sunflower. So considering the other sunflowers aren't working in here, I'm not really worried about that because I have the space because I don't have other sunflowers growing in here. And as I'm talking to you, I see the mountain sorrel that's there got chewed up. So something's been in here chewing, which is really frustrating. These are the hot cherry peppers, and they are starting to make peppers. So I'm going to have to keep eyes for the stupid voles not to eat my peppers. This is the butternut squash here. So the experiment was to keep it contained in a fence instead of it taking over the whole bed. And it's not the most effective method, but it's not on the rest of the bed, and I am successfully growing beans around it. So we'll see how that goes. So far, so good. And then over here is my acorn squash. So I was checking this, and I am a little concerned by how the stem looks, but I'm not sure yet. I think I could see it better from over here. So, all right, so let me see if I can get the phone to focus here. So there's a leaf in the way. So the stem is looking kind of not good. I can't really tell yet if I have borers, but that stem isn't looking good. So I am concerned about that. People do talk about doing a late season crop to miss the borers. So I'm hoping the fact that I've got these later ones, what is it? Is there a fuzzy thing on that? I can't tell. But I've got these later season ones that might be okay because they're much smaller than the other ones. No sign of acorn squash yet, but lots of flowers. So I'm seeing lots of flowers. Those are all male flowers there. I'm trying to see anything in this mess. It's so hard to see anything through here. I see like the babies of them, looking at the stem down there. So I see baby acorn squash down here. There we go. My phone's being really persnickety today. But I don't see any big ones forming yet. Alright, try and get my phone to zoom back out. So this tomato here is my greenhouse on the porch tomatoes. They've gotten really big. They're really happy. They definitely have a different style leaf than the one on the other side, which I'll show you in a second. They do have flowers all over them. So it looks like the shade cloth thing worked because they didn't drop their flowers. They have flowers all over them. Very happy. And then the other ones over here that were from the same grouping on the porch, they also have lots of flowers on them and are very happy. Well, this one has lots of flowers. This one, I don't see it doing anything yet. Oh wait, here we go. There's flowers up there. So flowers on those. I did harvest the lettuce and I threw some lettuce seeds in here. It looks like that lettuce seed actually took. So we'll see what happens with that. Over here, my Cherokee purples, one has tomatoes all over it. Quite a few. I see 4, 5 tomatoes on this one. And then the one next to it hasn't done anything. So I don't know why there's such a huge delay in the two of them. They're the same variety of tomato, Cherokee purple, and one has 5 and the other next to it has 0. Bought at the same time, from the same place, all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. Here's some violas that have survived the voles because they're up in a pot. They're actually up in a bucket. So I guess the voles haven't been able to jump into that one. They're really annoying. These are doing well. I have a lantana that has survived. Down here was a bunch of violas, like a lot of them, and the voles could run here, so I kind of blocked their runway because they were running back here. So I had put a rock on this side and a rock on this side just to keep them from having a runway. Do I think it's super effective? No, I really don't, but it makes it harder for them to just run as they please. They also were running along here and sneaking under the fence, so I really blocked the fencing down to have less chance of them just running. We're trying. We're really trying. As I said, we had 40 so far, and it's been insane. The cucumbers doing really well. I can see that's all the way up to the top of the trellis now, which is close to my height. We did get a cucumber from this week, which my daughter says was absolutely delicious, and she can't wait for me to get some more for her. I actually sliced it up and gave her half and put the other half in the fridge for later, and she had it as a snack and was so excited about it. Over here, going back to my son's peppers, these are also my son's peppers. There is a very large difference in sizing between these ones and the ones on the porch and in their garden. So this one gets watered every single morning. It had the shade cloth, and you could see as a difference, they're significantly larger. Like the one on the porch is like kind of this size, maybe not even that big, and then these ones here are doing absolutely amazing. What else do we have to talk about? So we've got the Roma tomatoes here and some peppers here. So the Romas, I'm going to check as I'm talking to you. I don't think I've seen any other Romas on here other than that one that I mentioned before, which, oh look, it's turned red. But look at the size of this. I'll use a finger for scale here. So look how tiny this one is. These are Romas, which is the original, and then over here, the Marianas are supposed to be a larger hybrid of those. So look at the size difference between the one that was over there and this. Like, that's a huge difference in size. Like, these are huge, and this is giving me a good yield. These are a determinate type of tomato, so they're supposed to give me like a big batch and then be done. So we'll see how that goes. Because if you've watched any of my past videos, The Romas were supposed to be determinate with the intention of removing them afterwards and putting a next batch of things. And they gave me tomatoes all summer, which was kind of insane. Every time I thought they were done, there was another batch of tomatoes. And I was like, oh, okay then. These are like the patio style tomatoes. And it looks like there is one down there. So there's one on there. And there's a little tiny one on here. But this one's got something going on with it. So I'm going to remove that because nobody's going to want to eat that. Oh, I just splashed water up on my phone. I'm going to throw this to the critters and pause for a second to clean my phone. All right, there we go. No more water spots. The 4th of July tomato did not even turn red yet, but there is a tomato. So there's that. Over here, I am excited to report that the not bush beans, these ones are pole beans. These pole beans are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing and climbing. And this one's trying to escape over there where I don't really want it. I don't want it on that fencing. I want it on the corn. But yeah, like, let's see here. This one's going all the way up to here. So the corn is, if I'm standing next to it, it's probably about belly high, maybe a little taller than that. So I am excited to see how quickly the corn is growing. And I'm also excited to see that I've got the beans growing on the corn as it's supposed to. And then down here, I've got my zucchini. And because these are planted late, I'm hoping to not have any issues with borers with those. But let's see, we've got number 3 is right here. And number 4 is right there. And this one's actually really perked up bigger than the other ones. It's probably getting a little bit more actual sun. I'm going to direct you over there so you're not falling over this way. Oh, or not. Go that way. Stop falling this way. Oh, I also did, I guess maybe I'll say this is the 4 sisters at this point. I put in nasturtium here, and I would like the nasturtium to actually have flowers on it because then it pulls in the predators and stuff that protects my squash plants. But it's very slow growing this year. And this one actually has leaf miner right there. So I remove the leaves of leaf miner and I throw them out. Oh, I also have a rogue tomato. Because there's always a rogue tomato somewhere, right? Alright, and I had replanted some corn in there and it's like this little sad, wispy corn. So hopefully that will grow a little better. My leaf miners over here. In the middle here we have sunflowers, and these ones were not nipped off, so they are growing appropriately and they are getting pretty tall. This one over here is about the height of the corn, so that's doing really well. Here's my thyme doing well here. I think I just walked into a cobweb as I'm talking. I hate that. It's on my arm. Okay. This is my lemon thyme here. My golden lemon thyme. It was actually more golden when I bought it, but I don't know if it's the amount of sun it's getting. But yeah, oh, here a little bit. You can see the edges are kind of a yellowy color, and the whole thing was more like that when I bought it. So it's kind of gone more green, but it's still really cute. Still like it. And then my foxlet thyme has gone huge very quickly. And I think it's because it's not blocked by weeds anymore, but it also has flowers on it. Purple flowers. There we go. Is it focusing there? So we've got the purple flowers on the foxlet thyme. And there's also a rosemary in there, right there. I think it's starting to rain. Lovely. Yeah, it just rained on my head. Anyway, we've got the fig doing really well here, and my other lantana that we thought had died has returned, so I'm excited to see that. So I'm gonna quick wrap things up because it is starting to rain on me. Oh, random mint. Mint got on my pathway from my pot. I will have to remove that later. There's one there. Thank you for following along. If you want to get more garden updates, feel free to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like so that I know that people are actually watching. See you next time.